behind us is the new Kia Sorento.
Now this is the bigger brother to the Sportage. It's a 7-seater premium SUV aimed at the German markets.
The model we have here is the KX2.
There's also a KX1, a KX3, a GT Line and a GT Line S. Now they're new for 2018.
There is also a new 8-speed automatic gearbox, however the model we have here is a 6-speed manual with a 2.2 litre diesel engine and 4-wheel drive.
It's 197 brake horsepower and it will give you up to 47 to the gallon as well.
Now the model we have here is £32,000, the range does go all the way up to around 42,000 but starts at 27.
Well, that's a great price, but when you get towards the higher end of the bracket you end up with things like 19-inch wheels, electric seats and panoramic sunroof.
Now I'm going to be taking a look at the practicality, the functionality.
I'll be looking at the exterior, the styling.
We'll then both be driving it and then we'll bring you our verdict on whether or not this is the car for you. Stepping inside the Sorento, the overall fit and finish, the overall build quality is very good. There's soft touch plastics on the dash, there's stitching along the top, there's soft touch materials on the door, the glossy plastic inlays on the doors and on the dash really do lift it. The satin effect material around the sat nav and the air vents looks really good as well. Now admittedly when you feel lower down the plastics do get a bit hard but they are robust. It would have also been nice to see a more ergonomically designed handbrake. When it comes to functionality, you're not going to fall short. There's all-round electric windows, power fold door mirrors, automatic wipers, cruise control, automatic lights. There is no self-dipping. There is also your media controls on the steering wheel. You have sat-nav, DAB radio, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. There's your USB port and auxiliary underneath that flap there. There's also automatic air conditioning. There's heated front seats and rear seats. There is a heated steering wheel, electronic diff locks, stop start, and you do also have multiple steering modes to choose from. When it comes to practicality, you've got loads of headroom and loads of legroom. There's lots of adjustment in the seat, however this is done manually. You'll have to opt for the GT line to get electric seats. The steering wheel is also reach and height adjustable as well. The door bins are vast. You can fit a giant bottle of water in there and even a little bottle of water in. They then can fit in the middle as well, in the 2 cup holders there. This little one will then also fit in the centre console as well, where there's a nice amount of storage there. In this central storage area here, there's somewhere to put your phone. There's 2 12-volt sockets as well as the USB and auxiliary. The glove box is of a decent size, however it is completely taken up by its own manual. Stepping into the back of the car is nice and easy thanks to the raised ride height. Now admittedly once you're back here it is a little dark, that's thanks to the black leather and the rear tinted windows. However on GT Line S models you can opt for a panoramic sunroof, so that would brighten things up a bit. Now there is no shortage of space when you're back here. These seats go forwards, they go backwards, you can recline, you can go forwards. They are also heated and you have a pull down armrest. There's air conditioning, there's 12-volt socket, USB. What is nice is Kia have thought of the practical things. They've got plastic backings on the front seats, so if you've got children that kick the seats, it won't damage them. You've got large door bins that can fit this massive bottle of water. You could even fit more in there. There is also 2 cup holders in the pull down armrest. There's ISOFIX points on both the outer seats, and you could fit 3 people back here, however 2 would be more comfortable. One big difference with this car is you have the 3rd row of seats. Now admittedly as a 6-foot adult, getting into the back is not the most dignified thing in the world. You do have the levers which allow the front seats to go forward, so you can clamber into the back, and once you're back here you do actually have a decent amount of space. Admittedly it is a little tight on my head and my knees, but really it's designed for children back here. There are cup holders, little trays to put little oddments in, and air conditioning, as well as the ISOFIX points on both the outer seats On the centre row, there is also all-round curtain airbags, which gives you that extra peace of mind. Coming around to the boot of the car, on this model you don't have a power tailgate, however on the KX3s and GT Line S's you do. Now once you're back here with all the seats folded up like this, you have just over 140 litres of space. However, these rear seats are very easy to fold down, and then you've got just over 600 litres of space. Now it doesn't stop there, because you pull these two levers and the 40-40-20 folding rear seats then give you 1660 litres of space. If you're wondering where the parcel shelf is, it's hidden underneath the boot floor. There is also a inflation kit. You do have no load lip going into the car, and the seats do fold virtually flat. With 1662 litres of space back here, you can fit tons of stuff in here. We went on a charity shop run, we put chairs, boards, loads of stuff, and we could not fill this car. It's quite mad really. There is also tethering points. Overall back here it's a great practical space.
The first thing you'll notice about the Kia Sorento is this commanding front grille and this tasteful chrome that surrounds it. The sculpture of the front of the car is very, very cool, and it's a million miles away from the previous generation too. When you stand in front of this car, you really do get a feel for its size. It's a behemoth, and it comes with quite a bit of tech. It comes with daytime LED running lights, fog lights, parking sensors, autonomous headlamps, and range sensing wipers. When you come to the side of the car, you're immediately met by these 18-inch alloy wheels. Now it just gives you an idea of the size when these are 18s. They look more like 16s. You've got a higher profile tyre, but that's for comfort. And you're also reminded you've got the all-wheel drive symbol there, and that gives you the four-wheel drive with diff lock, which means you can go exploring on picnics and country roads and the like. You've got power folding door mirrors here, and a clever addition is when you open the door closes and it covers the sill, which means no more muddy trousers. You've also got tasteful use of chrome throughout the vehicle, some satin roof rails, privacy glass, and when you step back here you really can see how long this car is. When you step round to the rear of the car, you'll see this rear diffuser. Now that's finished in the same colour as the roof bars. You've also got a chrome tipped exhaust. You've got parking sensors, you've got a reversing camera, you've also got a boot spoiler with high level brake light, shark fin aerial, and of course you are reminded of this 7-year Kia warranty.
Now let's get on to the driving. What is this car like to drive? Well, you might expect, because it is so big, that it would be quite a handful, it would be very ungainly, but I've not really noticed it being much different from driving a car.
Especially in sport enabled. It's phenomenal. You don't expect a vehicle like this to not be... You expect it to be wafty, don't you? You expect it to be blowing all over the shop and ungainly on cornering and so on, and there's none of it. It is really, really stable.
Well, that's it. Like the steering in this sports mode is very precise. You have a good idea of where the car's going. It's not wallowy. The ride is comfortable, and it's still able to, you know, let's face it, our roads here aren't exactly the best.
Well, as we mentioned before, if you come across a pothole, you'd be hard pushed to know you've come across a pothole. You just don't notice them.
Yeah,
if you notice it, it's technically a cavern.
Yeah, you only feel really the most craterous of them.
Exactly.
But even when you put this car into a corner, at some speeds,
yes,
it still has...
it grips.
It has very, very good control.
It does.
The engine itself has more than enough power.
2.2 litre turbo diesel as well.
You can just tell it has that diesel power. Now, I drove this car up from Nottingham, and on the motorway it's more than capable. I got 40 mpg coming up here at motorway speeds. I wasn't particularly trying to be economical. It was sort of a real world test.
Well, that's a good that's a good rate if you think about it, because I think it's Kia's figures are around 47. So
yeah, we've tested cars where you've really, you have to really try to
Yes.
get the perform.
An economical run is not the word.
Yeah,
You have to basically wind up the windows, make sure the tyre pressure's correct, just to get anywhere in the ballpark of that economy figure. But with this, it's not like that.
Well, yeah, like what we got, 40 mpg.
Yes.
Realistic speeds on the motorway.
In a 7-seater that weighs...
Well, exactly. It's not like this car
Yeah.
is exactly small.
No, it's large.
It's one of them cars where if you ask me why do you want one over anything else, I am going to struggle to put an exact point on it, but it's one of them cars I feel comfortable driving.
Yeah.
Bear in mind I drive a Fiesta on a daily basis.
Yeah, you could realistically stick one in the back.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like a tank to drive.
No, it doesn't. It's very, very easy to manoeuvre and negotiate, even through the thin and narrowy bit up near Arnside Knot. You managed to get it through that chicane easily, faultless. And you've got that you've got the parking sensors and the reversing camera.
Well, yeah, parking sensors, reversing camera. It's packed full of the things you need. I think really this £32,000 KX2 model is one of those where it doesn't have the panoramic roof, it doesn't have the electric seats, but when push comes to shove, do you really want to spend the extra thousands and thousands of
Realistically, you don't need it.
I think this is a realistic option for people to go out and buy.
Yes.
I think it's reasonably priced at £32,000 to have four-wheel drive, 7 seats, and this level of technology and quality, and a 7-year warranty.
What I would like to have seen is the GDI, the gasoline direct injection, I think that's what it stands for, on the British range.
I would suspect that in the next generation of Sorento that you will probably see a petrol model,
And a hybrid possibly.
Yeah, because diesel in the UK is
questionable.
I think,
even though it gives so much economy.
Yeah, that's the only thing that you really have to consider, and of course how much it costs to tax.
Yes.
That's the only downfall I can think of this car to drive. So what's our verdict of the Kia Sorento?
Well, striking good looks, economical, 7-seater SUV, very spacious and practical.
And it's a great car to drive. Like really, what can you complain about?
It's pretty much nothing. I suppose the only thing we could probably comment on is the fact it gets up to about 42,000 when it's the GT line of the GT Line S.
Yeah, that's if you pick all the bells and whistles, but even our model that's got a very good level of equipment is 32,000, which is very competitively priced.
And a very, luxurious interior, quite a bit of tech, also a level of autonomy, so yeah.
Yeah, it's a very, very good car for the money, and we got 40 mpg out of it, and that wasn't even particularly trying to be economical.
No.
So that's impressive as well, considering the size of this car.
Yeah. The other thing is the fact it's a diesel, that could become an issue in the future.
Yeah, that's the only real downfall to this car, and we would probably suspect that in the next generation of the car there would be a hybrid and a petrol option as well.
That would definitely be a wise idea, wouldn't it? It is NCAP Safety 5 as well, which is really good. Very family orientated as well.
That's it. If you're a family or caravanist or whatever, it's one of them cars. Even as myself at 22 and a student, I love this car.
Yeah.
I really, it's one of them cars where they're going to have to pry the keys off me to take it back.
Well, I'm not surprised, to be honest. It's very good looking. It's got all-wheel drive. I mean, that diff lock and that intelligent four-wheel drive system.
Well, that's it. It's a real four-wheel drive. It has all-wheel drive. You can actually. It's an off-roader.
You can explore. You can go picnicking on mountains.
And you tower over any crossover.
Yeah. So, if you're in the market for an SUV, definitely take a look at the Kia Sorento.
If you have any questions about the Kia Sorento, put it in the comments and we'll be sure to get back to you. For more great impartial car reviews, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you.